BMA. What's the latest?
What's the latest, Nancy? Well, I'll tell you this. What I do know from a Dutch contact of mine who's a reporter over there is that Joran Van Der Sloot says he did nothing wrong. But according to Peter de Vries, he says, who caught him undercover, trying to get young Thai women to go to the Netherlands to go into the prostitution ring. That is illegal, and according to Dutch prostitution law, that is illegal. Prostitution is legal in the Netherlands, but that is not.
Out to Jossie Mansour, owner and director of Diario magazine. Jossie, it's great to be with you again. What do you know about these latest charges against Joran Van Der Sloot?
Well, what I understand is that he did violate the law, both in Thailand and the Dutch law, and that he can be prosecuted for that.
To Rupa Mikelaneni, our producer. Rupa, exactly what is alleged happened?
Well, Nancy, Joran Van Der Sloot was caught on tape, on a videotape, secretly taped by a journalist, Peter de Vries. And he walked into a hotel room with two young Thai women to meet two of de Vries' men who were posing as Dutch sex trade bosses.
Here, hold on. Here you are seeing the shot. There are many of them. Investigator reporter Peter de Vries hosts a program allegedly showing Van Der Sloot, suspect in the Holloway case, setting up a sex trade operation between Thailand and Europe. Good Morning America has purchased rights to this video. Go ahead, Rupa.
Well, as you see in this video, it's a very grainy video, and they're sitting around, they're having drinks, and they're discussing potentially bringing these women somehow illegally, legally, illegally. It's very confusing. He discusses a 3-month visa, says he can, formulate some type of false documents that could get these women into Holland to work temporarily. He offers $15,000 or some such amount to pay for these women. These women indicate, look, we're not sure, we're students, this is very tricky, what would we have to do? And then he says that all that it would require is dancing. And
I believe his words were shaking an expletive in front of men, talking to them, sitting down and having a drink with them, and as if they're going to be models, having your photos taken while you're dancing.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, now, you said the women were students. What did he promise the women? What were they to get paid?
Well, in the videotape, he indicates $15,000. He doesn't say whether that's for the entire 3 months, for what amount of work, but he does say that they'd be working from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. This is a 12-hour day. We're talking 6-day weeks, possibly.
With me right now, exclusively, Natalie Holloway's father, Dave Holloway. Dave, it's great to hear your voice again. Can you believe it? It's like a bad penny turning up again.
It's absolutely disgusting that this guy is involved in something like this.
When did you first learn of the charges?
I learned of the potential video sometime last week, but I wasn't aware of what the extent of it was.
What do you make of it?
I tell you what, I hope the Thailand police do their job and get this guy. He needs to be taken off the streets.
Let's unleash the lawyers. Joining us tonight, international law attorney Theodore Simon out of Philadelphia, child advocate Susan Moss, Lauren Lake, defense attorney out of New York, Alex Sanchez, also a veteran defense attorney out of New York, to Susan Moss. Weigh in, Susan.
First, Natalie is dead, and now he's selling Thai women for bread, and it's all on tape. Joran is a moron, and luckily now he's going to be brought down by his own hubris, his own greed, and his own words.
To Theodore Simon, international law attorney, joining us from Philadelphia. Come on, we're talking about Thailand. It is the capital of the sex trade business in the world. Like, they're going to bust Joran Van Der Sloot?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, what we've seen briefly is a tape, only words. We haven't seen any objective evidence. And the last time Mr. de Vries produced a tape, it was rejected by the Aruban courts when they failed to reopen his case based upon his then statements.
If these allegations, Mr. Simon, if these allegations are correct, will he be prosecuted in Thailand or not?
Well, it's certainly possible if the allegations are true. I think we're a far cry from whether or not the allegations turn into any kind of objective proof.
You know what? Before I throw a stone at Thailand, Elliot Spitzer got nothing, and he is caught by the feds with hookers. So, you know, I guess I shouldn't trash Thailand too much. But what I'm trying to say, Mr. Simon, is if these allegations are true, and it is true that he is preying on unsuspecting young women, students, as a matter of fact, promising them $15,000 to be models, and they turn out to end up in the sex trade, stuck in another country with no way back home, will Thailand consider that a crime and prosecute him?
Well, I think you're adding many, many facts that may only be fiction.
Okay,
I mean,
you know what? Maybe you didn't hear the beginning of the question. If the allegations are true, you're the international lawyer.
Right.
Will that be a crime in Thailand? It's a yes/no question.
Well, you know, it's a big if. If someone commits a crime, they'll be prosecuted.
Hi.